Hello friends, my Lyft friends. I hope you're having an amazing day. The title of my video, The Shakeup Has Begun. Now, over the past few weeks, especially pre-IPO and post-IPO, you would have heard me in several videos saying that the executives need to pack up their pencils, their bags, their briefcases, and leave their desk, get out, right? We need true and competent leadership on top. And I've been pushing for the resignation of the executive board, including this gentleman over here, right, Dara, right? Things have to change, and the only way things change is if you bring in true, competent leaders. Now, it does not surprise me that the chief operating officer, the guy that's supposed to be operating this entire ship, Barney Harford, is out. I'll read you one of the comments just now, which I think this guy should have been let go a long, long time ago. But he's gone. In my eyes, good riddance. The next one, the chief marketing officer, Rebecca Messina, packed up, left, gone. And as you can see up here, I say, who's next? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if Dara resigns in the next few months, right? Because they need people that know how to work with the workforce, with the laborers, us people who drive. They need people who understand rideshare. None of these guys have even remotely gotten into the car. And if you look at that disastrous IPO, wanting to really launch at 120 billion and then, coming out with $45 a share, at about 80 billion, that doesn't speak very, very well for the executives or the management team, right? I bet you the investors, first round investors, seed investors, the banks, SoftBank, all of the guys that put big money in, granted they made big bank, but they were hoping to make even more, Sadly, that's just, at the end of the day, you can call it what you want, but it's called greed, right? They wanted more. Anyway, so I'm not surprised. Want to read something to you which I thought was quite interesting. That it said that Harford, this Barney Harford guy, drew controversy during his relatively short tenure at the company. Last July, the New York Times reported that several employees raised concerns about Harford's alleged racially insensitive comments, right? In a memo to his co-workers shared with CNN Money, in July, Harford described allegations as painful and said he was embarrassed. He pledged to work with a coach who could challenge his blind spots. Seriously? Listen, if you racially programmed and you're firing off insult and insult to the brothers and sisters around you in your team, you got to go right there and then. They should have let him go. There's no space for such individuals in corporations if they inject racism into their position or, call people names, etc. Let the guy go. So I'm glad there's a bit of a spring clean. This should have happened a year ago. These people are out. I would like to see the CEO, Dara go as well. I would like to see true, competent leadership at the top that knows how to connect with the driver, that builds bridges towards the driver, that can earn our respect again. Because I think, and I carefully say this, I see it in my live streams, I go through all my comments, I read what the people are saying on the street, right? And they have lost respect for the leadership of Uber because they've basically just played them like a yo-yo, played around with their earnings, played around with their livelihood, played around with their lives. They in my eyes displayed classic greed and non-competent leadership. Time to go. Clean up, bring in new people, right? You've got the money, hire the right people. Make sure you don't overpay these people. There is no reason to pay someone $40 to $45 million per year. Chop that salary down to 1/3. Instantly free up $100 million, right? And spend that in the right places. Spend that on programs for drivers. Spend that on security. And please, Uber, start showing some competent leadership. We urgently need it. The IPO needs it, the public who are part of this initial offering that have invested into the companies. I'm sure they want competent leadership. We need a shake-up on the board of directors, and we need a shake-up on the executive team, right? Is that a lot to ask for? Yes, it is. Does it happen overnight? No. But as we can already see, it's happening. I'm glad to see these two people going. Maybe a competent operating officer can step in on the marketing side. I believe that one of the other employees is taking over that position. And let's rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make this happen. Let's make this company happen. Let's treat drivers with the respect that they deserve and the earnings, the money that they deserve. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.